Hey, it is Friday night, November the 23rd, 2018. It is freezing in this room right now. But I'm going to press onward through this recording. I wrote a lot of words today. None of them are particularly good, but I did write a lot of them. I made up some more ground. I'm still behind pace, but I'm down to only 500 words behind now. So I should be able to catch up. A lot of what I did today was sort of a hybrid free writing sort of examination of the plot. I had my characters doing a lot of conversations about where they've been, what they've been doing, what they're going to do next, sort of their theories about what the bad guy's plot is. And again, I think I said this before, but a lot of times I write conversations like this between my characters when I, the author, am stuck and I'm not sure where to go next. So that is the main purpose of these conversations. Cough, cough, cough. It's sort of a free writing exercise. It's a way to get me to think about the plot and to think about where it might go next. It is a way to write words, to just put words on the page. Many of these words probably will not be useful, but some of it could come in handy. Because it is, I find it's very authentic sounding dialogue of the characters sort of struggling to figure out what to do next. Sometimes it's hard to write a conversation with your characters where, excuse me, where the characters aren't supposed to know what happens next, so that you want to write them, theorizing out loud about what is going on. And sometimes it's hard to write that when you, the author, already know what's coming up. It's hard to think of, alternative theories, I guess. But when I, the author, don't know what's coming next, it's a lot easier for me, at least, to write down, to have my characters theorizing about where to go next. And some of it, I might be able to keep it for the final draft, or I could just throw it out in the final draft if I need to. Any of those options are possible. But in the end, it does let me sort of work through where I want to go next in the plot. And after today, I do feel like I have sort of an idea, sort of an overview of what the bad guy's plan is, which kind of makes sense. I had to sort of retcon in some stuff. I sort of retconned in an army that is out in the field outside the city somewhere. I've sort of alluded to it before, but just sort of vaguely. I alluded to some sort of a war that was going on outside the city somewhere. So now I have this army that's from this king or power or somebody who wants to actually conquer the city and take it over. So the plot that's going on here with the sorcerer and doing dark magic stuff is all about trying to conquer this city for this foreign power. So that's my current plan for the rest of this book. Now I just need to figure out how my characters are going to stop this. Yeesh. Coughing a lot. I turned on the heater in this room and it's making all kinds of weird smells right now. That was probably a waste of time because as soon as I finish this recording, I'm going to leave this room. Yeah, I have sort of a vague overview of the rest of this. Well, I was going to say I have an overview of the rest of this book, but that's not exactly true. I have an overview of what the bad guy's plan is. What I don't know is how my characters are going to stop that plan. And I just sort of threw out this idea here at the end of this writing that maybe they'll go back and see that shaman woman that that we visited way back at the beginning. And at the time, I didn't really think that she would be a factor in the rest of this novel, because she didn't really jump off the page at me. So, but now I'm thinking maybe she can help somehow. I don't really know. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I'm struggling to. I've sort of painted my characters into a corner here. They have this this insurmountable problem to solve, and I don't know how they're going to solve it. So it's going to be a little bit tricky. I'm probably going to have to do a little bit of hand waving sort of retcon, changing things around as I get closer to the end of this book. So I'm sort of thinking about how I want this book to end now, and what needs to be in place to make that ending happen. And I don't know those answers yet. I'm still sort of thinking about it. Even as I'm sitting here, I'm thinking about that. Do I want the good guys to win? Do I want the bad guys to win? Do I want it to be a stalemate? I just don't know. One thing I do know is I do want it to have an ending. I don't want it to, end in a cliffhanger. I'm definitely not going to do that. There will definitely be an ending. I'm not going to, I'm not planning to make this the first book in a series of 10. Yeah, I don't, other than that, I don't really know how I want it to end. So, yeah, I don't really have a lot else to say. Yeah, to summarize, I guess, I wrote a lot of words. A lot of it was for my own benefit as the author. Not really, not a lot of really storytelling words, I guess. I did actually, I think I mentioned last time that I had sort of skipped over the climax of this scene in a crypt where we confronted the bad guys, and I did spend some time writing, trying to sort of clarify what happened during that climax. I had the characters just sort of, talking about, hey, I sort of jokingly breaking the fourth wall a little bit, sort of joking about, hey, now that we're out of there, I don't remember what happened. Do you guys remember what happened? And so they started just throwing out these ideas of what might have happened. And I got sort of an overview of it again. I went back to the concept of the doppelgangers that I think I mentioned way back at the beginning. I think the dark ritual was somehow involved creating doppelgangers. I sort of went back to that. And I still don't have all the precise details of, exactly who was standing where and who cast which spells, but I have a little bit of a clearer picture of what happened during that climax now. Sort of the, I guess that would be like the Act 2 climax. And then now we're heading toward the Act 3 climax, I guess. So we'll have to think of another set piece for that. I don't know. Someplace, like a dark and stormy night with thunder and lightning and rain, wind whistling through the whatevers. I don't know. I guess it would have to be in the city. It doesn't make... Sort of makes... Whoops, there's a Razer Synapse update available that my PC just beeped about. Yeah, I guess I'll stop here. I don't really have anything else to say. Just sort of plugging away, trying to add more words on, and I'm still I'm kind of lukewarm about what's going on here. I'm not crazy about it. I'm not hating it. I'm not loving it. I'm just plugging away through it and putting paragraph after paragraph after paragraph onto this document and still sort of hoping something good will come out of it. I feel like if nothing else, I think I can actually get maybe a decent short story out of one particular section of it. The flashback that I told of Murad's sort of backstory, I think that would make actually a decent short story, even if I can't get a full novel out of this. But we'll see. So that is all for tonight. See you next time.